bit of a relief that Jesse's operation went well.
Yeah, I think it's just great news for Jesse, for obviously a really traumatic thing that he's gone through. The operation went incredibly well, so main thing is we get Jesse back to full health, get him in a really good mindset, and then welcome him back into the footy club.
Have you had a chance to speak to him yet?
Not yet. No, I'll speak to him later today. He's get through his operation, speak to him later today, and give him some time away to recover and heal, and get his mind right. So the main thing is that it was the best positive news we could have got. The operation went extremely well, and he's feeling really good about it.
Physically, everything's going well, as you've just said. Is the mind the biggest hurdle now for him to get back to actually normal footy?
Yeah, I think we've said as a club, it's going to be a 4 to 8 week sort of recovery frame, and it really will come down to Jesse. When Jesse feels like he's comfortable to get back into training and playing, that's when he'll come back into the fold. So obviously with these things, it really is up to the individual. And we're going to put no pressure on him at all. But I think he loves being around the footy club, and he loves his footy. So I'm pretty sure he'll be back quite quickly.
Does that again give the boys a bit more extra motivation again this week?
I don't think it gives them extra motivation. I think we spoke about it last week, and what he means to the team. And I think this group's incredibly close. They're together. They care about each other a lot. And when you've got a player that's going through a really traumatic period, our thoughts and prayers are with him. And the players, certainly respected that last week.
Melbourne's got a record where they have an incredible win, and then the next week might be tendency to sort of drop a game. How do you keep the boys up for this one and keep their motivation as high as it was for last week?
Yeah, obviously last week built a lot of belief for the footy club, but we're back on the tools this week. We're looking forward to a really good training session. North Melbourne have played some strong footy all year. It's an incredibly tight competition, and we know that. So we have to play our best, and we've set a new level, a new benchmark of standard of performance. And our expectation is that we deliver that most weeks. And I know the players are really keen to make sure they build some momentum and really get back to work. And we get back to work as a footy club and a whole footy department.
It's been 11 years since you've been in the Roos. How do you turn around that sort of history this week? Yeah,
we've dealt with a few hoodoos in our journey. And as I've said previously, they really are relevant to the group. I keep saying it, but as a footy club, we're just on our pathway forward to what we want to create. And with what's happened in the past, there's obviously things that we haven't been able to do and achieve. And obviously one of them's this week. We haven't been able to beat North Melbourne for a long period of time, but it's irrelevant to this group, and we've just got to make sure that we play the way that we want to play and the way that we know we can play.
Coming up an amazing win, but Harms' form in the VFL is hard to ignore. Does he come back in, or do you look at him?
I thought we had some great performances, from a few guys. I think obviously James Harms, Alex Nilbulla and Billy Stretcher are playing really solid footy in the VFL. So all those guys will be considered. Jake Melksham's coming back from suspension after playing a really good VFL game, so he's also in the mix as well. But clearly the guys that went out there on the weekend performed extremely well, so our changes will be limited.
Are you any closer in deciding what to do with Angus Brayshaw for the rest of the season?
We'll meet today to discuss Angus in depth, but we're really clear that we're going to tailor a really specific program for Angus and get him back to great health. The great thing about Angus is recovering well. He's really positive about playing footy again, and certainly we'll build a program, whether that's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. We'll just take that week by week and make sure that we've got the best program for Angus.
It's gone ahead of schedule, it seems.
If you ask Max, he is. Yeah, so he's confident about where he's heading. We think he's probably 4 or 5 weeks away, and we're looking forward to getting him back. He's an important player to us, and he brings a lot to our team. So the sooner we get him back, the better.
Jaden Hunt, how do you pull up from that concussion?
Yeah, look, he's pulled up incredibly well, but we'd like to see him do a fair bit of training to be available. So we'll assess him today, but also Saturday. Because obviously concussion's a really individualised case, but our medicos do a great job, and he's pulled up incredibly well, but we'll just assess him as the week goes on.